People think you the person that killed MO3.
The man accused of taking MO3's life just spoke out on camera, and what he said has everyone losing their minds. It came straight from Quan Dontrell White, the guy accused of chasing MO3 down that Dallas freeway and ending his life in broad daylight. But now he's flipping the whole story, and it's wild. The twist is insane, the timing is shocking, and his new claims might change everything about what really happened to MO3. Let's break it down. The person accused in MO3's case just dropped jaw-dropping details. For days, social media and the streets have been buzzing about MO3's death and Yella Beezy's arrest, with people saying he might have played a role in setting things up. Everyone's been talking about that. But what many forget is the man actually accused of doing it, Quan Dontrell White. White was the first to be charged in connection to MO3's passing, but while waiting for trial, he got hit with a 9-year sentence on a separate federal gun charge. Just when people thought he'd stay silent behind bars, he surprises everyone with a jailhouse interview that turns the internet upside down. Then he said it, "I know what I did." That line hit deep. He said it calm, steady, no fear, no doubt. But what really threw people off is when he made it clear that he didn't do what they're accusing him of. He got the wrong man, he insisted. "I can't just say how it would have been because I'm in a situation now." That's when people started asking the real questions. Was he set up? Could this be a mistaken identity? But White didn't stop there. He doubled down, making it clear there's way more to this story than anyone thought. He didn't hold back for a second. He tore that whole case apart right there on camera. And of course, the internet did what it always does. One comment summed it up perfectly. Imagine being this man's lawyer and he's out here doing interviews from jail for a podcast? That line alone had everyone talking. But let's keep it real. This man didn't just end up behind bars out of nowhere. The feds hit him hard. Quan Dontrell White got sentenced to 105 months. That's just under 9 years in federal prison.
You agree with me that your grandson is substantially well off, correct?
He might used to be, but if he could make a $2 million bond, he'd be out.
Would you agree with me, though, that there's a difference between can, want to, and choosing not to?
I'm aware of all of those things, but I know he don't want to be in here, so I know if he could afford it, he'd be out.
But here's the thing, that time wasn't for anything connected to MO3's case. It was for having a firearm while being legally restricted from owning one. That info came straight from U.S. Attorney Chad E. Meacham of the Northern District of Texas. White had already pleaded guilty months earlier to carrying a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. And this wasn't something planted or twisted. Officers said they actually found the weapon in his pants pocket during the arrest. Here's how it all went down. On August 16, 2020, police spotted White riding a dirt bike on West Pleasant Run Road in Lancaster, Texas. They say he broke a traffic rule, so they lit up the sirens and told him to pull over. But White didn't stop. He hit the throttle and sped off, trying to get away. Officers chased after him until he crashed the dirt bike and tried to run off on foot. They caught him soon after, and that's when they found the gun on him. Let's not forget, this man didn't just land behind bars for no reason. The feds hit him serious time on that charge. Meanwhile, Quan White has been speaking out from his jail cell, swearing up and down that he had nothing to do with MO3's death. On the other hand, Yella Beezy has been completely silent, not a single word. So let's rewind this whole thing. Beezy, whose real name is Marquise DeAndre Conway, was arrested on March 20th, 2025. Surveillance footage showed him in cuffs, walking calm and steady like he'd been through this before.
These records would correspond to the exact amount which the state's witness would testify to.
No panic, no emotion, just a blank stare as officers escorted him through the station. When that clip hit the internet, the reaction was instant. People went wild waiting for Beezy to finally say something. Instead, it was his lawyer, Toby Shook, who gave TMZ a statement that sounded straight out of a PR handbook. He said Beezy was relieved to be released after securing bond. And that was it. No mention of MO3, no denial, no emotion. Just that he felt relieved. The silence had everyone side-eyeing the situation, wondering what was really going on. But here's the part that had the internet spinning. Beasley wasn't just someone with a random open case. 2 days before his arrest, a Dallas County grand jury officially indicted him with a capital murder charge with remuneration. That's the legal way of saying the state believes Beasley paid someone to make it happen. Not a fight, not something that just exploded in the moment, but a planned act.
People think you the person that killed Mo3, man. They think you did it.
It's a million ways to do it. I ain't got no tattoo on my knee. I'm not being told that I'm married someone this year.
Then came the bond hearing, and things got intense. The court set his bond at a heavy $2 million. His team quickly told the judge he couldn't afford it, and that's when his family stepped up. He's the one on the rap, but can't afford the bond. That one line made the whole room freeze, and the court took notice too. But prosecutors weren't buying the whole broke story for a second. They came prepared with receipts, literally. They pulled up Beasley's bank records from 2020 and showed that he had nearly $870,000 sitting across his accounts. They even mentioned that he drove a bulletproof Denali. Then came the detail that had everyone's jaw dropping. A $40,000 withdrawal made just days after Mo3's passing. Prosecutor Tommy Adams told the court that a witness was ready to testify, claiming Beasley helped finance what happened, that the $40K wasn't just some random transaction, but part of a setup. That statement sent shockwaves through the courtroom. Defense team didn't waste a second. They fired back hard. They said the state had nothing solid to stand on.
He has houses in other states, correct?
I'm not aware of that.
Are you aware of him paying helping to support other individuals in the family and also extended family and friends?
I'm not into his business like that.
No text messages, no Instagram DMs, no bank slips proving any kind of handoff, nothing. But one person claiming they heard something. The defense made it crystal clear. You've heard no information of a text message, any communication on a social media platform that I claim paid for this, any kind of payment at all. Just this individual who stepped forward and said he overheard a conversation. Even with all that back and forth, what happened next stunned everyone in the room. Judge Gracie Lewis made a decision that no one saw coming. She decided to lower Beasley's bond to $750,000. But she didn't do it quietly, not at all. The judge straight up called Beasley out in court for how he handled his financial forms. She said it looked like he didn't take it seriously at all. In her words, the financial report the defendant was required to file, he didn't seem to take that seriously.
You are to have no contact, direct or indirect, no threatening or harassment of any victim, witness, co-defendant. If it's you or anybody on your behalf, there's going to be a problem. Do you understand that?
And that's what I'm worried about, whether or not he's taking these charges seriously. Judge Lewis didn't play around. She looked him straight in the eye and gave a direct warning. No threats, no games, no funny business. Her tone said it all. She meant every word. So yeah, Beasley walked out on bond, but that courtroom moment wasn't about freedom. It was a wake-up call, and a loud one at that. Online, people started breaking it down right away. Some said he's a rapper, 40K could have been for anything. Others pointed out that the whole case seemed to be built around one witness, someone who might have been close to the situation. Then the conversation shifted. People started reacting to the bond itself, going from $2 million to $750,000 in just over a week. That had everyone's attention.
Why couldn't you ever acknowledge 3 before or after his death?
I never, what was the point?
Comment sections were flooded with takes. He might actually beat this case. And others saying they weren't shocked he got out, just impressed by how fast it all happened. Folks kept saying he didn't look worried one bit, and judging by his lifestyle, he didn't seem short on money either. People online were quick to point out, he's really from the cliff for real. If someone's rolling around in a bulletproof ride with 6-figure accounts and enough to pull $40K anytime, claiming they can't afford bond felt hard to believe. Then came the side-by-side comparisons. People brought up other artists' cases, saying things like, how come he got a bond when others didn't? The internet lit up with debates. Some called it privilege, others said it was just power and influence at play. But here's what most people missed. A small yet crucial detail straight from the court. The judge said one reason she decided to lower Beasley's bond was because of the lack of solid evidence so far. That line alone spoke volumes. Before ending the hearing, Judge Lewis gave one final warning. She told Beasley not to try to intimidate anyone involved in the case. And that was it. That tiny moment right there revealed a lot. It showed that even the court knows the state doesn't have a complete case yet. All they had was one shaky story and a single witness. That's why Beasley was able to walk. But then came the tweet that made everyone stop scrolling in disbelief. It said, "Big U paid it for him." Maybe it was just a joke, but it spread fast, because whenever Big U's name gets mentioned, people pay attention. His name always stirs things up. Big U has a long history of helping rappers, not just in the studio, but when real-life problems hit too.
We ain't never had no problem.
You never had no problem. Okay.
He's well connected and respected, known for quietly moving behind the scenes for years. So when people started saying Beasley's bond money might have come from someone with influence, Big U's name was right there at the top of that list. He's all about loyalty and respect. And since Beasley is from Oak Cliff, that connection made the rumor sound even more believable. Online chatter started building fast. If someone really helped cover that $750,000 bond, maybe it wasn't just about money. Maybe it was about keeping certain people silent or protecting bigger names tied to the situation. Now Beasley's out again, staying quiet just like before. Meanwhile, Mo3 is gone, taken in that tragic freeway shooting, right in the middle of traffic. And as Beasley walked out of court, people couldn't help but think back to that day. The chase, the chaos, and everything that followed. But just when everyone thought things couldn't get any stranger, College Kid dropped something that flipped the entire mood. It wasn't breaking news or a new court update. It was old studio footage.
That was a big impact for him, like on the whole city.
The video showed Mo3 and Yella Beezy standing shoulder to shoulder, laughing, recording, vibing like brothers in the booth. No tension, no drama, no bad energy. But then came the footage that changed everything. The moment that left the city frozen in disbelief. It showed Mo3 on I-35. His car stopped in traffic. He suddenly jumps out and starts running through the lanes like he's trying to get away from something serious. Then another man follows him behind, and just seconds later, it's all over. Mo3 is struck down right there, in broad daylight, in the middle of the freeway. It was shocking to watch. People online are still debating what really happened that day. Some said Mo3 pulled over because he thought he heard gunfire. Others claimed his tire got hit and forced him to stop. Then a post surfaced that tried to piece it all together, saying the person chasing him had already started shooting and that there were multiple cars involved on that highway. Another claim said someone even took out Mo3's tire before the chase began, which made it sound less like random chaos and more like a planned ambush. Then came the cold, hard evidence, the kind you can't argue with. Investigators pulled the phone data, and what they found was wild. Records showed that Beasley and Quan White were in contact constantly, not just the day before Mo3's death, but the same day too. The call logs, text timestamps, and cell tower pings placed them near the area where Mo3 was staying that night, and later close to the spot where the tragedy happened. Prosecutors didn't waste time. They laid it out clear. This wasn't some back-and-forth feud gone too far. They said it looked like a coordinated act, a setup, not a street dispute. They believe Beasley called the plays, provided the money, and planned it out. The calls, the cast, the location data, everything seemed to point one direction. Then the story flipped again. This time it wasn't about music or money. It was about a woman. The Shade Room dropped a post claiming Mo3 had just left the woman's house that same morning. According to that report, he already felt uneasy, like he was being watched. So he decided to leave and pulled into a gas station, hoping the car following him would finally back off. But it didn't. Same car, same energy, still behind him. Mo3 got back on the I-35, trying to lose whoever was telling him, and that's when everything went down. The chase, the crash, the final moments, all of it happened so fast. Then TMZ TV stepped in and confirmed even more details. According to TMZ TV, Mo3 was desperately trying to get away from the people following him just moments before he was tragically struck down on that Dallas freeway. Then came the part that broke everyone's heart. After the crash, Mo3 reportedly got out of his car and tried to run for his life before he was fatally hit. Police never publicly confirmed the name of the woman he had visited that same morning, but that didn't stop fans from digging for answers. The internet lit up with theories, and most people were convinced that the woman somehow had connections to BZ's circle. No one ever proved it, but no one close to the situation came forward to deny it either. That silence only made people talk more. Everyone started connecting the dots their own way, trying to make sense of the mystery. And just when things were boiling online, BZ finally spoke up. He sat down for an interview with the Lamp Channel and kept his response short and cold. No shouting, no frustration, just calm and steady. He said certain things need to be addressed, certain don't. Then he added, "Stop attaching me to all that stuff because it ain't got nothing to do with me." He said that line like he'd been holding it in for a long time. But even that bold moment didn't stop the rumors. If anything, it made people dig harder, especially now that BZ was back behind bars. His face was everywhere, plastered all over the blogs, trending on social media, and the same question kept popping up again and again. How did this all really start? Because this situation didn't just appear overnight, not at all. It wasn't just one fight, one track, or one disagreement. This tension had been brewing for years. Both Mo3 and BZ were from Oak Cliff, the same part of Dallas. And over there, repping Oak Cliff means something real. You either respect it or you test it. There's no middle ground. Back in 2017, things started to heat up for real. Comedian Roy Lee, who was close with Mo3, began throwing shade at BZ online. He didn't hide it either. He questioned BZ's street credibility and even asked if BZ really repped Oak Cliff like he claimed. Roy made it clear which side he was on, and it definitely wasn't BZ's. That's when the tension turned personal.
Then things took a dark turn. On September 25th, 2018, Roy Lee was shot in a North Dallas parking lot. He didn't pass right away. He fought to recover for a few weeks, but on October 13th, he sadly didn't make it. Doctors later said complications from the injury led to a fatal blood clot. And here's where it got even wilder. Just one day later, on October 14th, BZ himself was shot in what police described as a drive-by. Reports said he was hit multiple times while driving through Louisville. He survived, but people couldn't ignore the timing. It felt way too close to be a coincidence. No sugarcoating, no sneak disses, just straight up shots on the track. Mo3's record 219 was dropped on Roy Lee's birthday, came with no filters. In it, Mo3 pointed fingers directly at BZ, blaming him for what happened to Roy Lee. Twitter caught on fast. One viral post summed it up perfectly. The Mo3 and Yella BZ feud turned serious after BZ ducked a fade from Roy Lee's friend. Lee was later killed, and that set off a whole chain of incidents across the city. Then Reddit jumped in, adding even more theories to the mix. One user wrote, "Yeah, I know Mo3 started getting real confident and talking a lot online, just didn't know if that's what really led to what happened." Those kinds of posts started flooding every thread, with fans and locals trying to piece the story together like detectives. But this wasn't just rap beef anymore. It was pride, ego, and real-life tension that had spilled far past music. Once it started, it moved fast, and no one could slow it down. The city felt that energy, and the rivalry between the two artists became one of the most talked about feuds in Dallas. Fast forward to 2024, BZ shows up on the Can I Vent podcast. Finally, someone asked him the question everyone had been waiting for. What was the point of all this? BZ leaned back, gave a casual shrug, and then dropped something heavy. He said Mo3 was jealous, that Mo3 couldn't handle seeing him win. He called him bitter about the success, and that comment shook fans to their core. Suddenly, the feud sounded deeper than music. It wasn't about who had the better bars or bigger shows. It felt personal, like old wounds that never healed. And just when people thought BZ was finally opening up, he switched the energy completely. In another interview, the tone changed, calm, collected, almost like he wanted to rewrite the narrative. Just like that, he flipped the story again. First, BZ said Mo3 was bitter. Then suddenly, he's saying there was never any beef at all. 1 minute is tension, next minute is peace. The narrative kept switching like a light flicking on and off. But it didn't stop there. Just when everyone thought BZ was gonna stay cold and distant forever, he did something no one expected. He actually showed respect to Mo3. It was a rare, almost shocking moment that had fans double-taking online. He said something genuine about Mo3. No shade, no slick talk, just straight honesty. It was probably the only time Beezy ever publicly spoke positively about him. And for a second, it felt like the city took a breath. But Mo3 had his own real moments caught on camera too. Right after Beezy got shot in 2018, hit multiple times while driving, everyone wanted to know what Mo3 had to say about it. And as always, Mo3 didn't hold back. His response was cold, short, and straight to the point. No fake love, no pretending to care. Just that raw, unfiltered Mo3 energy he was known for. He said what he meant, and he stood on it. Then later, another clip surfaced that changed the tone completely. And that one, Mo3 sat down and spoke calmly about all the rumors, the gossip, and the drama flooding social media. He said none of it was real, that the whole beef narrative came from outsiders who weren't even part of their world. According to him, it was all talk, all internet noise. But here's the thing that got buried. That charge didn't stick. In June 2022, the entire case was thrown out. No conviction, no time, cleared. But as always, the internet has short-term memory. People forget when cases get dismissed. They only remember the headlines and the photo. Then, just when it seemed like things had calmed down, Beezy's name popped up again in July 2024. But this time, it wasn't about jail. It was about court. His name was linked to a lawsuit involving Chris Brown, and instantly, social media started buzzing again. Different drama, same kind of chaos. 4 men filed a lawsuit in Harris County claiming they were invited to a VIP event at Chris Brown's show at Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. But according to them, things went left real fast. They said a fight broke out and that Chris Brown's crew was involved. And guess whose name suddenly got pulled into it? Yella Beezy. Beezy's lawyer wasted no time clapping back. He told the Shade Room that Yella Beezy had nothing to do with any incident that night. He said Beezy had no contact with the people making the claims and didn't even understand why his name was being dragged into the lawsuit or the temporary restraining order. His attorney said the filing clearly came before all the facts were verified. Still, Beezy's name stuck in the headlines. And as always, the internet only see the headlines. But there's been no news on any other charges since then.
But to really understand how Beezy